green shoes. I saw spirals everywhere. Okay, I want you guys, after, to go see the kiosks. We have AQ Sound, we have Sam's Club, Scythe, and then maybe one or two more. All right, so let's hear what our judges think.
I'm gonna go first this time. Those were some pretty ambitious arrangements. I'm really impressed with your ambition, and I liked that a lot, actually. And I kind of wondered if you guys were big Muse fans.
I've heard them before. I've heard
the drummer's indicating yes, but I heard a little Muse in there somewhere. But
well, you found it.
We found the Muse.
Yeah, you did.
In general, really good job. The first song, you were a little out of sync with each other from time to time.
Yeah.
And
that's why it's a warm up.
because not the first song before you started talking.
Okay.
The song thing.
Yeah.
Okay. That one. It had kind of some busy guitar arranging in there, and it seemed like you lost the pocket with one another a little bit. And I think that's just something that would come along with playing for a while and getting used to the arrangement and listening to one another. You did a really good job on the Modest Mouse song.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I really like that song. And then the last song, wow, I really liked that song a lot. I liked your vocal on it. And again, a little bit out of sync with each other sometimes. Some of the transitions, because there were a lot of transitions in that song, are a little rushed. Maybe that's the way you want it to sound. I'm not sure, but seems like that could be a little smoother. But overall, good job.
Thank you. Okay, my turn. One thing I really loved about what you guys did is how you layered sounds a lot, especially in that first song, The Sun. I loved that song and how you just layered it up and brought other things into it one by one. I loved all the different ways you used your instruments, and just throughout all of your songs, I thought you layered your sound really well. I thought, what's your name? The female guitar player? Sarah, wonderful, awesome guitar solo. I love that. And I would also like to say that you have so much to be proud of, and that I could use a little more stage presence from you, because you don't have anything to be shy about, but you look like you're working really hard the whole time, you know? And these guys are, bobbing their heads, and you're, focusing, and the focus is good, but when you have a relaxed look on stage, that makes us relax, because you've got it, you don't have anything to be stressing about.
Thank you.
What else did I have on here? The male vocalists, I love how stylized you guys are. With your sound, it worked really well with the group, and the drumming was great. Again, I love the way that you use your instruments and just switch things up a lot.
I'm shaking.
Dude, you're doing fine.
Yeah, and that's what I have. Great job.
Okay, from the instrumental side of, well, actually just the sheer musical part of it. I'm not going to talk about stage presence or anything, because these two are better at that than I am. Several things. I like the key centers that change. You started out in D, I think, D major, on your first tune. On The Sun, I think that's in D. The Modest Mouse thing, I think it was in F sharp, if I'm not mistaken. That was, you guys were, moved it around too. So that was a nice tonal sequence. And the last one was really interesting too, because it moved around. There was a kind of a tonal ambiguity there that I liked a lot, because it just went from one. The tonal sequences didn't really settle on any one thing until you hit the rock and roll section near the end. So I liked all that variety, in what was happening musically.
I think that song in particular, really shows the variety that we can provide, better than any of our other songs for certain.
Tonally, I think, particularly the shifting, and also the change in character of the piece, I like too, when it jumps into that rock and roll part. I really like that. It was a surprise, and it was a nice one. Some of the problems that I noticed, just from an instrumental or musical standpoint, would be the connection between bass and drums. From time to time, there was overbalanced with the bass, and it came and went like that.
Come back here,
so what I would hope for you guys is that you would focus more on each other. and the interplay between the two of you, because that's how you generate drive. The best rock and roll band, as a matter of fact, that I ever heard in my life was I was on the road with Leon Russell in 1981. It was in Atlanta, Georgia, in what was supposed to be a new wave club, right? But it was really a rock and roll band. And what struck me was the interaction between the bassist and the drummer. The balance just seemed to be perfect, and it made it easy for the guitarist to play and for the singers and everything. And I never heard about him again. You know, so it was really a shame.
My dad, he always mentioned that having a tight drummer and guitarist is a really important thing. I haven't practiced enough with Josh. That is something I would openly admit. I've practiced mostly with the guitarist here, so.
Bass and drums, that's the key in almost any kind of instrumental band, whether it's jazz or rock and roll or country or anything. Bass and drums, everything wells up from there. It was very good for the most part, but sometimes it was too much bass and not enough drums, and then a disconnect rhythmically, not terribly, right, but just enough to kind of skew the pulse and to lose some of the momentum. Mostly okay. Let's see, what else have I got here? Vocal concepts. I'm not clear where you want to go with this. There's a kind of a punky quality about some of it, but I'm not sure that it goes along with the other musical concepts you have. The low voice sound, you know, that can work with the upper octave. Do you want it way overbalanced with the low voice as opposed to the top voice? Because I think the question more than anything is, what are you looking for vocally here? I think that needs to be settled, and I'm not sure that you are at this point.
We haven't worked on the vocals that much, honestly.
Then what I would say is find your concept. You know, where do you want it to be, and get all the way there. Okay, between the two of you.
All right, thank you.
Okay, what else do we have here?